I'm a little monster. I'm a little monster. 우린 천불나고 이상한 사이야. 서로를 부서지게 그리고 딱 껴나.
There are some Revelovs who only seem to like songs or concepts like Psycho or Bad Boy, and don't give a fuck about songs like Rookie or Oompa Oompa. These songs were fun, but apparently most of you guys don't like having fun. Red Velvet has such interesting and versatile concepts and songs, which for me is their main selling point. I'm not saying you have to like every single song from groups you stan, but when you compare the views from their cuter songs to the more badass songs, there's a distinct preference showing, and that just doesn't sit right with me. All their other songs, besides Bad Boy and Psycho, deserve just as much love. Also, don't you dare call yourself a Revelov when you only support their badass songs, and don't care about masterpieces like Rookie or Zimslopim.
깜짝깜짝 자꾸 놀래키지마. 예고 없이 네 입술 갖다 대지마. 너무
Since we're already on the topic of not wanting to have fun, you guys seem to think that trashing groups with cute or innocent concepts is a personality trait. Hate to break it to you, but it's not. I feel really sorry for everyone who hasn't experienced a cute and fun song like TT, Chewing Gum, or Rookie. It must be hard being depressed like that. I understand that some fans feel uncomfortable when their grown faves are doing A.k.a. or something like that, but you can't tell me that you hate all cute songs.
Cause I got 아찔한 pain. 날 있어 날 끊어질 chain. 준비된 fight. 심장에 screaming. 들리는 beat.
She's a good dancer, but that's about it. She hardly sings live, and her MVs are just too much. Like, this shouldn't be some weird Star Wars knockoff short film. This is a music video. You're supposed to be a K-pop idol and not a sci-fi movie protagonist. It's just too much CGI, and that makes me cringe, especially the fighting scenes. I completely understand that learning another language is never easy, but especially as a solo artist, having your Korean sound somewhat authentic is a must. To add to that, most of her songs barely have any lyrics anyway, and of those, 60% are in English. If you don't care for singing, maybe you're better off just staying a dancer.
왜 내일을 오늘 골라야만 해 내일을 오늘 내가 어떻게 하는데 흐려져 가는 길과
Most international stays I know still support Woojin, and even go as far as to mourn after him every chance they get. Honey, trust me, Stray Kids is better off without him. You ever wondered why Woojin has almost no Korean fans and why he still hasn't found an agency? That's because they saw right through his bullshit. Yes, when I first heard of him leaving the group, I was really sad. But the more time passed, the more unsure I was of his true intentions. It seemed more and more like he never gave a fuck about Stray Kids or Stay in the first place. Selling a USB stick for 60 euros? Unlike for a photo book where you have to pay for paper and printing, using a USB stick, he basically has no expenses and all the revenue goes straight into his pocket. I know he said he was going to donate some part of it, but he never disclosed to us how much. Now, nothing has ever been confirmed, and this is just what I think happened, so don't take offense, but it seems the most likely scenario. I have the feeling that him possibly dating was only the last straw that got him kicked out of the company, as well as his behavior prior to the incident. Chan gave us multiple hints that he is disappointed in Woojin, and I can't blame him. Chan worked so hard for Stray Kids, even before their debut, picking all the members himself and having to endure the pressure of a survival show. And then, when they finally made it, one of them can't seem to keep his dick in his pants for a few more months. And no, I'm not against idols dating, but when he joined the company, he knew exactly that he wasn't allowed to date for 3 years. But, even knowing it would harm the group, he still went against the rules. Stay and Stray Kids suffered immensely because of him, and the fact that he just came back and acted like nothing ever happened doesn't sit right with me.
We busy 没时间看不到你的信息 Got no time read a sign We busy 不是不在意只是每天忙到让我没时间
I see baby stans on Twitter judging people in their 20s for still liking K-pop. What's wrong with that? The only difference between you and me is that I don't have to ask my mommy whenever I want to buy an album or go to a concert. We are the ones that pay our faves' bills. There are really some 11-year-olds on Twitter. Like, get off that shit. This is really not the place for children. Yes, we get it. They're privileged and their debut got a lot of hype because they are BTS's junior group, but ever since their debut, they have done nothing but impress us with their discipline and talent. Especially when it comes to their dance, they prove themselves to be more than capable. Yes, they are privileged, but so are all groups under the other big companies. But that doesn't mean they got everything just handed to them. Oh, and by the way, why is it that you automatically start comparing them to BTS whenever TXT is mentioned? They are their own group with their own concept and charm and should be recognized as such. For example, when people talk about Stray Kids, nobody ever brings up GOT7. So how come that ARMYs always find a way to include themselves?
아무도 몰라 너와 나 we gon' play 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 불을 붙여 oh that's my way do it for me oh that's my bad play play you wanna get you 나 아찔해져 가는 춤을 원해 달려
I'm not talking about pre-releases that get released like a week before the actual album, like Hold by Winner. I'm referring to pre-releases that get released before they even announce the date of the actual album. For example, Stay Tonight by Chungha was released on April 27th. Now she released her second pre-release single on July 6th. But where's the actual album? And in the middle, there was also Be Yourself. Like, Stay Tonight was such a long time ago. No one's really gonna care about it once they release the album. So why not just make it a digital single? After all, a pre-release is supposed to get the fans excited for the comeback and possibly give them a little bit of a taste. But in Chungha's and also in Blackpink's case, it's just tiring to have to wait for such a long time for the actual album.
Where's the album? We want the album. Where is the album? We need the damn album. Where is the album? We need the damn album.
Give it to you 눈빛 쏟아지는 말 touch 하나뿐인 말 my lover 내 머리부터 뿜뿜 내 발끝까지 뿜뿜
I get it. Some of you guys' only personality trait is to bash women and girl groups for the smallest reasons, but it's honestly getting too much. They did absolutely nothing wrong. If you don't like their songs, just move on, please. Also, no, they don't sound the same. You probably only listened to 3 of their songs and then made a judgment from there. They just lost 3 of their members, and for you to wish for them to disband is straight up awful. I know exactly that you secretly listened to Boom Boom 100 times when it got released, but as soon as they got a little bit of hate, you just jumped on the bandwagon because you want to be cool on Stan Twitter. On a more positive note, they just released a new mini album with the title track, Starry Night. It's honestly so good and something I have never heard of them. I don't know which one of you keyboard warriors started this, but calling her the ugliest idol is not only wrong, but straight up rude. Going out of your way to spam her Instagram with insults just goes to show how low some of you guys are. Stop harassing this poor girl and focus on yourself instead.
어딜 봐도 너밖에 없어 차가운 날 녹여줄 baby like you yeah like you yeah 어딜 가도 너밖에 없어.
I've been seeing so many people who don't like ITZY's B-sides, especially the one from the It's Me album. And I would really like an explanation as to why none of you have taste. You can't tell me you don't like That's a No-No, Ting Ting Ting, and I Don't Wanna Dance, or even go as far as to call them fillers. In most other unpopular opinion videos I have watched, no one seemed to genuinely like their B-sides. I understand you saying this about their previous albums, but It's Me? Are we listening to different albums? Maybe you just need to unclog your ears.
가져와 bring the pain on yeah all the time bring the pain on yeah bring before it start keep falling every day.
So many ARMYs claim that because of BTS's success, they have surpassed the K-pop label. But I genuinely don't understand what is so bad about the K-pop genre. They're all Korean, under a Korean label, singing in Korean. They themselves will call their music K-pop because they're proud of their roots. Just because they have gotten a lot of recognition in the US doesn't mean they're no longer a K-pop group. Their fans have a serious superiority complex, thinking labeling them as something other than K-pop somehow makes them better than other groups. Do you not realize how inherently xenophobic that is? Why is it bad to be associated with Korea and their pop culture? Shouldn't you be proud of how far they've come inside their industry instead of desperately trying to separate them from their culture? And don't even get me started on BTS pop.
모든 빛이 침묵하는 바다 yeah 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 이리는 내 발목을 또 잡아 yeah 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 어떤 소리도 들리지 않아 yeah 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 killing me now do you hear me?
When you like BTS, and only BTS, you're not a K-pop fan. You are a BTS fan. Some of these ARMYs talk all high and mighty, thinking they know all about how the K-pop industry works, when all they listen to is BTS. You only know the facts about other groups that you dig up to drag them in your weekly fan wars. There's nothing wrong with only standing one group, but then don't pretend you have a clue about what's going on in all of K-pop.